Duelists, it is I, Hell Gear, bringing that Thunder Dragon deck profile for the ban list. Because, yeah, it's time. Just to let everybody know, this is a pure Thunder Dragon build that I've had in the lab for a while. And now that we got one of the boys back in town, I figure, let's show it off. Like, sub, and bell, and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And who knows, some of the decks that I play in my deck, you might play in yours. But enough about that. This has been a long day as it is this Monday. So let me count the cards. As always, we begin with the man himself, the triple Thunder of Dragon. You discard one to add up to 2 more from deck to hand. You don't have to get them both in one draw. You can add one and do it like Lone Fire Blossom. The next couple of Thunder Dragon monsters are, well, they're 1 effect per turn and they have multiple effects. Starting with our Thunder Dragon Dark. In Dark, so you can discard this, and they each have a discard effect, which is a quickie, and then an effect where they're banished or sent to the graveyard. Dragon Dark is actually an updated version of the original Thunder Dragon. So you discard a Dark, add another Dark. And then, when it dies in the field to the grave or banished, you add a Thunder Dragon card from deck to your hand, except another copy of Dark. We got 2 Hawks. Hawk on discard special summons a Thunder Dragon besides itself from grave or banishment. And if dies on the field or being banished, you can readjust your hand. Really good stuff right there. I also play 2 Roar in my build. This can, on discard, recur a different Thunder Dragon from graveyard or banishment. And if it dies on field or gets banished, you can Stratos a different Thunder Dragon. So, very useful to have to get your plays going. But when you Stratos from the deck, the monster is placed in defense mode and it returns to your hand during the end phase. Next up, I got 2 copies of Thunder Dragon Lord, aka Shenron. I got 1 Thunder Dragon Duo, and then I got 1 of the Chaos Dragon Legionnaire. I mainly use these guys as Chaos Space targets. So, in addition to Chaos Space, Shenron himself, alongside Duo, well, all of these guys can't be normal summoned or set. They must first be special summoned by a couple of ways. When a level 8 or lower Thunder monster's hand effect is activated, you can special summon Thunder Dragon Lord to the field. Once per turn, it can even Foolish Burial a Thunder Dragon card or during your yeah, and on your opponent's turn, you can quick effect send a Thunder monster and another card to the grave to give protection to another card. Thunder Dragon Duo and Chaos Dragon Legionnaire need the light and dark monster banishment to pull it out. Wow. You don't really care about the attack point boost of Thunder Dragon Duo, and recurring cards is something you rarely do. Chaos Dragon Legionnaire, depending on what you banish, will either let you clap cards, shuffle cards, or even destroy cards. Or, excuse me, add cards. Pretty standard. Like I said, these are my Chaos Space targets that I go for. 2 copies of Solar Battery Man. This is the best normal summon in your deck. It is the Armageddon Knight for Thunder monsters. You can even get yourself a token if it's on the field when a Thunder monster is summoned. The other effect you don't care about. I also run 2 Aloof Lupine. On normal summon, you literally banish a card from hand, then banish a card from your deck of the same type. And it even recurs a banishment card when it comes back once per turn. I personally like the 2-2 split when it comes to these guys. If you want to run 3 Solar Battery Man and 1 Aloof Lupine, you're more than welcome to. I know a lot of people do like to run it that way. Next up, glad I found this baby. 1 Nemesis Corridor. Gotta love this. Target one of your banished cards, discard this, add it to your hand. This literally cheats out the big boys. Anyways. Now, one of my personal techs in this deck, and I love this. Ooh, almost bent that card. Thank goodness it's the common and not the ultra rare reprint. 2 copies of Thunderhand. Now, this is an odd place in a Thunder Dragon deck, but I love what it does. If a monster whose original attack or defense is 1600 on your side of the field dies in battle while this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can special summon it but banish it when it leaves the field and then blast the card your opponent controls. What's good about this once per turn effect is that if you have 1 Thunder Dragon on the field and the other in hand or grave, and the one on field dies, you can literally special summon the other, then blast the card your opponent controls. Oh, little fun fact. Thunder Dragon Dark and the original Thunder Dragon both have an original attack power of 1600. So, if for a chance, and we'll bring up Thunder Dragon Roar here for another example. We'll take our Roar for example, right? Your Roar gets banished, you add one of the Thunder Dragons, regular or dark, to your hand in defense mode, right? And this is going to be something you might do because of Tenpai Dragons coming out to swing at you, at your boy. You bring one of those guys out, one of your Thunder Dragons, regular or dark, gets smacked, dies, you have a hand in your hand, or in your graveyard, special summon it, and then blast the field spell. Very useful trick. I love that. It gives Thunder Dragons a little bit of an aggro tech. 2 Effect Veilers. This is my hand trap of choice. All of the people know in the Dueling community know that Effect Veiler is my favorite hand trap. You gotta love that. Rounding off the monsters. Spell game. We got the fusion engine going on here. These are all the fusion cards that I play. Yes, I am playing the Fusion Gate Field Spell. And the good thing about the Fusion Gate Field Spell is that it banishes fusion materials from hand or field. So, you can get their effects off easy. I do have some insta-fuse targets. And of course, Thunder Dragon Fusion is just standard. A lot of people will play this at 1 going forward, but I do like the deuce just for the extra added bonus in case one of them gets hit. 2 Allures of Darkness. Banish a Thunder Dragon, get some fresh draws. 2 Talents to punish the opponent when they hand trap me. 1 Gold Sarcophagus, pretty standard in Thunder Dragon. You gotta love banishing this stuff. Now these next 2 cards are some of the sweetest techs around. And the first one I'm going to start with is my copy of Soul Release. Banishing up to 5 cards in either graveyard is a wonderful thing, but what you do with this is you banish Thunder Dragons from your graveyard. And when you do, the Seagawk chain link pops off and it is crazy. Another interesting tech, and I love this one too, and people hate this. It's a continuous spell known as Constellar Belt. It has a simple line of text that says the effects of light monsters cannot be negated. Excuse me, the activation of light monster effects cannot be negated. One thing you learn about this deck, Thunder Dragon or not, a good majority of the monsters are light attribute. You slap this down, you summon Solar Battery Man, and you get to do your thing without being checked by Ash or Imperm. Because, again, with Constellar Belt, the light effects aren't negated. Hawk, not negated. Base Thunder Dragon, not negated. And it's beautiful. One Chaos Space, again, I already talked about the 4 Chaos Space targets I have. You know what these guys do. You know about Call by the Grave and Foolish Burial. We don't have to talk about these cards. We know what these cards do. And then here's an interesting card. Monster Reborn Reborn. Target 3 monsters in your graveyard. Your opponent chooses one for you to special summon. The others are banished. And it's an oath, which is very clever to play with when you get down to it. The only traps I play in my deck are Solemn Strike, just to clap something that's problematic. Gets us out of here. Get it out of here, get out of my face, at the cost of 1,500 life. You're not using your life points for anything in this deck anyway, so, well, other than instant fusion. But other than that, what's what? 3,100 life. Extra deck time, we got these two for my instant fusion targets. Kaminari attack is just old school. It truly is old school. Panzer Dragon just blasts a card when it dies, so that's some nice spot removal. And of course, because I'm that dude, I actually play the original twin-headed Thunder Dragon. And this does come up. It's funny how this comes up too, but I do give it some love. Speaking of love, welcome back, Super Thunder Dragon. The man himself that keeps your opponent from adding cards from deck to hand except by drawing them. The big lockdown that you can give up a fusion monster and a monster whose effect adds in the hand instead of fusing it. It's pretty good. 2 Titans. This is self-explanatory. If you're playing Thunder Dragon Titan, and you need at least 2 copies. Some play 3. You blast a card on discard. And what's good about these guys is if they need to be kept alive in Super Thunder Dragon's form, whether it dies by battle or card effect, you can banish a card to keep it alive. If Titan gets killed by one of your opponent's card effects, you can banish 2 to keep it alive. Kaminari Summer. I love the Japanese name of this. Kaminari Summer Vacation. We all know this. This is an extender for your Thunder Monster plays. Gotta love it. Nightmare Engine, because I don't have money for SP Little Knight. You play with what you have. And then there's this dude. Everybody forgets that the Thunder Dragons have a Link 4. Mainly because the TCG butchered the name to Thunderstorm Mech instead of leaving it as Thunder Dragon Goliath. You need 2 or more Thunder monsters to link summon this guy. Once per turn during your main phase, if you control this link summon card, target one of your Thunder Dragon monsters in your graveyard or banishment and apply its discard effect to Goliath here. Then you stack the targeted Thunder Dragon from wherever you targeted from to either the top or bottom of your deck. And if any thunder monster, not just the dragon itself, but if any thunder monsters would die by battle or card effect, you banish 3 from the grave to keep them alive. Keep them alive. I love this thing. Because I wanted a rank 5 option, I went with number 5, Doom Chimera Dragon. It gains 1,000 attack for each material attached to it. It can attack all of your opponent's monsters. And after it battles, you can either attach 1 monster in your graveyard to it as material, or stack a card from your opponent's graveyard to the top of their deck. Gustav to overlay your 2 Titans to burn for 2 damage, and then Lebe. I know this is like a 13 card extra deck. It's not a full extra deck. The remaining cards you can put up to your thing. I've been trying to get this recorded by midnight because my day was hectic, and I promised you guys a Thunder Dragon deck. So if this is late Monday night or early Tuesday morning, it's up for you to enjoy. But this is my updated Pure Thunder Dragon deck profile. I hope you do enjoy it. I hope you do try out these techs, because I'm very happy with the techs that I played for this. Raise your thumbs if you've enjoyed this one. Now let me take my cards to the box, because I'm done. Bye-bye, everybody.